Hey, welcome back. You know that feeling when you're looking for something completely ordinary, a receipt, an old note, and you stumble across something utterly baffling instead? A few weeks ago, I was digging through a box of my old engineering textbooks from Dhaka, and tucked between the pages of a worn-out calculus book was a letter from my grandfather, written in our village's dialect. But here's the thing. He'd used a shorthand he invented himself, a little code just for taking quick notes. And staring at it, I realized I could only understand maybe half of it. The rest? It was a message from someone I loved, just out of reach. It's a haunting, frustrating feeling. And it's that exact feeling, but on a monumental, centuries-old scale, that brings us to today's story. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Curiosity Compendium, a production of Light Knot Studios. Today, we're diving into one of history's most enduring and exquisite puzzles, the Voynich Manuscript. It's a book that looks like a medieval herbal and astronomical guide, filled with strange, beautiful illustrations of plants that don't exist, women bathing in green liquid, and intricate celestial charts. But its text? It's written in a script no one has ever seen, in a language no one can identify. For over 600 years, it has resisted every attempt to crack its code. It's been called the most mysterious book in the world. And today, we're going to explore why. Our story properly begins in 1912, when a rare book dealer named Wilfred Voynich bought a strange volume from a Jesuit college in Italy. But the book itself is far older. Vellum samples date it to the early 1400s. So, from the moment it entered the modern world, it was already a 500-year-old enigma. Carbon dating confirms its age, and its provenance can be tentatively traced back to the court of Rudolph II, the Holy Roman Emperor, who was a known collector of the strange and occult. But before that, its origins vanish into the mist. Who wrote it? We don't know. Why? We have no idea. The text flows in a graceful, left-to-right script, with over 170,000 unique characters that seem to follow phonetic and linguistic rules. It has the statistical patterns of a real language, not random gibberish. The words have a structure. They look like they should mean something. And that is the core of its maddening allure. The illustrations divide the book into sections, which scholars have given names like the herbal section, with those unidentifiable plants, the astronomical section, with fold-out charts of the cosmos, the biological section, which shows these nude women, the nymphs, connected by tubes and bathing in what looks like a system of pools or fluids, and the pharmaceutical section, with drawings of plant parts and apothecary jars. There's even a section of what looks like recipes. Now, if you're an engineer like me, you look at this and you see a system. You see a document with internal logic. The images seem to annotate the text. The text is organized into paragraphs, with a neat, consistent hand. This wasn't the work of a madman doodling nonsense. This was a deliberate, painstaking, and incredibly expensive project. Parchment was costly. The ink, the pigments, the gold leaf in some places, this was a luxury item. Someone paid a fortune to create this. So the question screams at us. What valuable information was worth preserving in such an impenetrable way? This is where the codebreakers enter the story. And not just any codebreakers. We're talking about the best minds in cryptography. During World War I and World War II, some of the very same cryptanalysts who cracked military ciphers turned their skills to the Voynich, and they failed. Completely. In the 1970s, a team at the National Security Agency, using early computing power, took a shot. They, too, came up empty. The text defies every known method of code breaking. It has what's called a low entropy level, meaning the words are surprisingly repetitive in their structure, which is unusual for most human languages. Some theories have emerged, of course. Maybe it's a constructed language, a philosophical language from before its time. Maybe it's a very clever hoax, an elaborate forgery meant to fool a wealthy patron like Emperor Rudolph. But a hoax from 1404? Recent AI analyses have suggested some weak links to Hebrew or other Semitic languages, but nothing conclusive. Every proposed solution, from it being a lost Ukrainian dialect to an encoded form of Latin, has crumbled under scrutiny. The manuscript doesn't give. And that's the point where pure analysis meets something deeper. This is where my perspective comes in. As an engineer, I'm trained to believe that every system has a logic, that with enough data, the right key, the problem will yield. The Voynich manuscript challenges that fundamental belief. It sits there, in the Voynich Library at Yale University, digitally available to all of us, and it whispers that some mysteries are built to last. It forces us to confront the possibility that we might never know, and there's a strange beauty in that. My grandfather's note is a tiny, personal Voynich, a message whose full context is lost to time, leaving only fragments of meaning I can piece together with my own memories. The manuscript is that on a global, historical scale. It is a reminder that the past is not a clear text we can simply read. It's a palimpsest, a layered, coded thing, and sometimes the key is gone forever. So what do we do with such a mystery? We learn from the asking, not just the answering. The Voynich Manuscript has driven advances in statistical cryptography, in historical analysis, in the study of medieval art and science. It has become a mirror. In the 17th century, people saw an alchemical text. In the 20th century, they saw a complex cipher. Today, we might see a treatise on a lost form of women's medicine or a unique cosmological vision. We project our own questions onto its vellum pages. And in doing so, we learn about our own relentless need to make sense of the world, to find patterns, to believe that no communication is ever truly lost. The Voynich is more than a book. It is a testament to human curiosity itself. It is the physical embodiment of an unanswered question. And in a world that often feels like it has all the answers at the click of a button, there's something profoundly humbling and inspiring about that. It tells us that wonder is still possible, that there are still maps to places we can't quite go, letters from a past we can't quite hear. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the unreadable book. I've been Ibnul J. Farabi, and this has been the Curiosity Compendium. If this episode sparked your curiosity, please share it with someone else who loves a good mystery. For more stories that explore the fascinating edges of our world, visit our producers at Light Not Studios at lightnotstudios.com. Until next time, keep asking the beautiful, unanswerable questions. They're what keep us moving forward.